So today we're going to discuss about the third method of calculating the calculating the roots of the quadratic equation. So the third method, which I told you in the first video, is by using quadratic formula. Okay, so by using quadratic formula. Before using quadratic formula, what we will do is whatever the quadratic equation you're having, you have to put that in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So you have to put it in this form, like I have put this question: 6x squared plus 19x minus 7 equals 0. And then I have to compare. I have to compare the two equations. I have to compare the two quadratic equations. And then when I'll compare it, I'll see the coefficient of x squared is a here, right? The coefficient of x squared is a here, and the coefficient of x squared is 6. So I can write a is equal to 6. And then I'll be able to again analyze and compare the coefficient of x. Coefficient of x here is 19, and the coefficient of x here is b. So I'll write b is equal to 19. Okay, and then the third thing, the constant. The constant here is -7, and the constant here is positive c. So positive c is equal to -7. So I can write c as -7, right? So I got the values of a, b, and c. Now I will be able to use the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is the value of x equals minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So what we need only b, a, and c. That's it. We need only these three numbers to get the value of x, and that's it. So when I use the question, the question is 6x squared plus 19x minus 7, I first calculated the value of a, and then the value of b, and then the value of c. Now I will plug in the values of a, b, c in my quadratic formula so that I will get the values of x. Now I will do that. X equals negative b, so you'll write negative 19, right? Because b is 19, so negative times b is negative times 19, so negative 19, plus minus square root of b squared, means 19 squared, right? 19 squared, minus 4 times ac. 4, a is 6 and c is -7, right? -7 divided by 2 times a. So 2 times 6, right? 2 times 6. Now I'll be able to, solve it. I'll just try to solve it. X equals -19 plus minus square root of. So what I will do is I'll calculate 19 squared by using the calculator. So I'll use the calculator. I'll put the calculator here. Okay, so 19 squared, right? 19 squared will be 361. So I'll write 19 squared is 361. And then you're having -4 times 6 times -7. So I can again use the calculator. -4 times 6 times -7. So I'll just put in the numbers. I'll just put in the numbers, and the numbers are 4, 6, and 7. 4 times 6 times 7. So that is equal to 168. So 100, but negative times negative, right? Negative times negative will be how much? Negative times negative, I'll show it here. -4 times 6 times -7 will be positive, right? The answer will be positive. And what was the answer? Positive 168. 168. And this whole thing divided by 2 times 6, that is 12, right? So this was the extra thing here. So 12. Now I can again solve it. It will be negative 19 plus minus square root of 361 plus 168. So 361 plus 168. So you're adding 168 plus 361. That is 529. And if you'll calculate the square root of it, you will be having so you will calculate the square root of it. 361 plus 168, 361 plus 168 is equal to 529, and then square root of 529 is 23. So 529 divided by 12. So I can write it here. I can write it like this. I'll just show it here. So x equals negative 19 plus minus 529. You have to square root it, so it'll be 23 divided by 12. Now what we can do is we can show it here. It is actually two values, negative 19 plus 23 divided by 12 and negative 19 minus 23 divided by 12, because here you're having plus minus. Here you're having plus minus, so you'll take positive value also, plus 23, and negative value also, negative 23, so you'll get two values. So x equals negative 19 plus 23 will be how much? 4 divided by 12, 4 divided by 12, and negative 19 minus 23 will be how much? 42, negative 42 divided by 12, right? So you can write x equals 4 times 1, 4 times 3, so 1 over 3, and x equals negative 42 divided by 12. So you can say 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times 1 is 3, and then 3 times 4 is 12, and then 2 times 2, 2 times 7, so 7 over 2. So you'll get 7 over 2. So x equals 1/3 and x equals 7 by 2. So these are the two values of x, and we all did this by using the quadratic formula. So quadratic formula is x equals minus b plus minus square root of minus b square, square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So this formula, when you will use and you'll plug in the values of a, b, and c by comparing the question and the general form, standard form of the quadratic equation, then you'll be able to calculate the values of x. And that's it for today.